Another great cause. This show is all about highlighting people that do great things in the community. This is the Long Beach Herald this week. And on the front page of the Long Beach Herald, there was a story about Racing to Rebuild, a great event that's going to be happening next weekend in Long Beach. And let's bring up one of the organizers of this great event. Give it up for Keith Grant, ladies and gentlemen. Keith, talk about how this event all happened and what's going to take place for this big race and what it's going to be all about. Keith Grant, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Thanks, Howie. Well, we just heard, obviously, quite a bit about the struggles that homeowners are still having throughout our area. What this is it's a community run 4 days before the anniversary of Sandy. That serves a couple of purposes. One is bringing the community together in a positive way as we lead up to, obviously, a very emotional time with the 2-year mark. Coming together in a positive, healthy way that morning. It's a run that's on the Long Beach Boardwalk at 8 a.m. on Saturday. It's not a competitive race. It's a run, walk, skip, hop, jump, dance, whatever people want to do to come down and be together that morning and support Sandy recovery. What exactly they're supporting is an organization called Race to Rebuild. This organization was started just in the aftermath of Sandy by runners that were volunteering their time in Staten Island and Rockaway, New Jersey, and in Long Beach. And one in particular, Sarah Hartman, a Brooklyn resident, who volunteered 3 weeks of her time after Sandy in Long Beach and came up with this idea of using athletic events, marathons, triathlons, road races in general, and the athletes themselves to raise money for rebuilding. In the little less than 2 years that this organization's been around, they've raised about $100,000. They've done rebuild projects throughout the city and New Jersey. I was fortunate to be a part of one of those rebuilds in Canarsie back in the spring. A house that hadn't been touched since Sandy. We gave it a turnover in one day that was absolutely amazing. So what's happening on the 25th is there's actually two events. The main event by Race to Rebuild is in Rockaway, called Run, Ride, Rebuild the Rockaways, where there's a run that morning. There's a bicycle ride where bicyclists are going to meet in Prospect Park in Brooklyn and ride to the Rockaways. Then they're all going to be joined after breakfast by 200 to 300 other volunteers from different organizations that come out, and they're going to surge on 10 houses throughout the Rockaways to help those folks get back in their homes that day and do the rebuild work that they need. So in support of that event and to support our neighbors over in Rockaway, we came up with an event in Long Beach, kind of a satellite event, this community run, which, like I said, it's a positive way to bring people together, and it's a way to financially support Race to Rebuild's mission. All the money raised that day goes to Race to Rebuild. It's really grown since we came up with the concept because the city of Long Beach, and especially the recreation department, has been so enthusiastic about it. They'll be set up down there. We'll have a race clock set up there, so it'll have a race feel, even though, like I said, it's a fun run. It's a community event. We're going to have a great post-run breakfast at Shines afterwards, and it should be a great day. And like I said, it supports Race to Rebuild with the idea that this event they're doing in Rockaway, Run, Ride, Rebuild, is actually going to come to Long Beach then in the spring, and there'll be a Run, Ride, Rebuild Long Beach. And this will become a series that will actually be continued throughout stricken communities on Long Island, in New York City, in New Jersey, where there's a run, there's a bicycle ride, and a rebuild project that all takes place in the same day. So for those that come out to the event on Saturday morning, that money that's raised gets pumped right back into our community with the Run, Ride, Rebuild Long Beach event that'll follow up in the spring.
Keith, I can't commend you enough. It's a great cause and a great event, and we'll be there Saturday to support you. Keith Grant, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! All right, we're going to take our final break of the evening, and after the break, I'm going to bring up 4 young guys who share my passion of doing great things in Long Beach and love being in broadcast. We're going to bring up Christopher Murdy. We're going to bring up Derek Topper. We're going to bring up Ethan Finkelstein and the one and only Rocco Pasafume. All right, we're taking a break. Coming to you live from the finest Mexican restaurant in Long Island, Pancho's Cantina, on Long Island's first and oldest station, AM 1240, WGBB. Woo.